coming to the stage. Y'all already know who it is. All I can say about this guy, though, real talk, I mean, I met a lot of people in LA. I met a lot of people on my journeys around the world. Seriously, this has to be one of the nicest, one of the most pure individuals I've ever come across. Put your hands together for Mr. Dennis, Kosh, Jacob.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you, please, thank you. That is... If I suck now, it's gonna be so much worse. As Don said, Dennis Kosh Jacobs, not coach like Craig T, no, Kosh like kosher, but don't let the uniform fool you. All right, let's make sure you get, yeah. I will crush a bacon cheeseburger right now. They are delicious. And also, we're not getting sick from eating pigs anymore. So let's get with it, all right? I'd love to surprise rabbis with chicken parm and then just be like, yeah, we should change all of the rules. What have we been doing? So yes, kosh, but not kosher. But my Christian name is Dennis. I am named after a television show, and most of you are thinking, I bet it's Dennis the Menace, isn't it? No. It's from a show called The Rockford Files. Some of you know what that is. Some of you were born about a decade later. It's a cool show about a detective, and you're probably thinking, Dennis Rockford, that guy sounds awesome. And he does, except Rockford's first name wasn't Dennis. Dennis was his fat best friend. And I never consciously believed in destiny. But alas. But yes, in case you couldn't tell, I am a Jew. To many people, though, I am not a Jew, I am the Jew. As in the only Jew they know or had ever met, okay? Grew up in a small town in Florida. If you get a chance to go to Florida, don't, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And there were no Jews where I grew up. In my high school, there were 3 Jews. 1,300 kids, 3 Jews. Me, my brother, and my prom date. That's it. Also, she's a dentist and her parents are very proud of her. But that's it. That was it, all right? And I will give credit where credit is due. My elementary school would let my mom come in around Christmas time and teach everybody about Hanukkah. And it was always great. She would come in and she'd tell the story, and then she would show what a menorah is, and then she would teach everybody how to play dreidel, right? Oh, so exciting. And she'd be like, okay, guys, this is dreidel. We play it every year at Hanukkah. Who wants to say Hanukkah? Okay, we'll work on it. Okay, there's 4 things on the dreidel, all right? Now, this one means that you win everything in the middle. Congratulations. This one means you win half. Good job. This one means you give your soul to the next Jew you see. Don't worry, you can buy it back as long as you have gold coins that are filled with chocolate. I wonder why none of those people came to my bar mitzvah 5 years later. Not one. It's okay. I'll be all right. Don't you worry. But yes, it was pretty crazy being the only Jew. In high school, I was walking out of the bathroom, and our football coach approached me and was like, hey, what's the difference between you and me when it comes to Jews and Christians? Now, I'm in 9th grade right now, okay? I'm not prepared for this. But I will give him a little bit of bonus points for saying the qualifier but when it comes to Jews and Christians, because the difference between you and me, and you're 6'6", you're played at University of Miami, I will never be able to do any of those things, but I was like, oh, I guess when you think about it, it's really the Jesus thing. It's really, we don't have Jesus, and you have Jesus. That's all? I guess if you looked in the Talmud, you might find some other bigger differences, but I think I peed a little. Thank you. You definitely peed a little. I've been wearing a yarmulke since I was 15, and I am a Reformed Jew, and most of us don't do that. And it's been a big thing for me because it's forced me to learn a lot, right? Because people come up and they ask questions, and I don't know isn't a good enough answer after a while. But if it was just questions, that'd be fine. Hey, what's that? Hey, what's it mean? I didn't grow up with a bunch of Italians, but you get it. But one time, I had a guy come up to me and he goes, I know your father. It's like, cool. A lot of people know my dad. How do you know my dad? And he goes, Jesus Christ. Sorry? Your father is Jesus Christ. Now, what do you think about that? And I responded to this man and said, my dad is Jesus? That only means one thing. I can have Chick-fil-A open on Sundays and make them give all of their money to pro-LGBT communities. I have to use these powers for good! And then I ran away. Sauntered. I'm not much of a runner. That shouldn't surprise any of you. I mentioned I grew up in Florida, and I told that to a group of second graders recently. I teach second grade sometimes. They're small Jews, don't worry about it. But I told that to a group of second graders, and one kid goes, Florida? Ew. And I quote, that place is full of criminals. Yeah, he's right. I don't know who told him, but good job parenting. Which is so funny, because when I think about it, whenever I meet somebody else from Florida, it's like watching two ex-cons meet on the outside for the first time, right? It's like, yo, I just got out of Orlando, was doing a dime over there. What about you? Shit, I was locked down in Tampa till I got over here. Many of you have never been to Florida or jail, and congratulations. You're making good life choices so far. I treated my college acceptance as if it was a letter from the parole board. It was like, please, I'm a Reformed Floridian, okay? I promise to always wear pants when I go to the drive-thru, even if I have no intention of leaving my car. I promise to teach others how to properly run away from alligators. Okay? And even though I was not old enough to vote, I am so sorry for the 2000 presidential election. That alligators thing is real, by the way. In elementary school, in Florida, we learned how to run away from alligators, okay? Yeah, that's the danger we have to worry about. It's like we're gonna do hurricane drills, tornado drills, and alligator drills. And the goal is you have to run serpentine, because alligators are scary fast on land, but only in straight lines. Here's what they didn't explain. Don't run serpentine this way, though, because a smart gator will just cut right up the middle. Gotcha. Florida. I went back to Florida recently, and you know how they say, you know, when you go home, some things change and some things remain exactly the same. There was one change. One. And it was pretty significant, actually. I do say so myself. We used to have what we lovingly called the Kentaco Hut. It was a 3-in-1. It was a KFC, a Taco Bell, and a Pizza Hut, all under one roof, all right? Yeah. That's why people move to America, all right? For a Kentaco Hut. A number 20 had chicken strips, breadsticks, and tacos. Get the fuck out of here, are you kidding? So imagine my depression upon learning it's just a Kentaco now. I don't know what Professor Pizza Hut did to get cut out of that deal, but I'm so sad about it. I survived Florida because I had dope parents. Anybody else here have dope parents? You guys have some dope parents? Yes? Your parents smoke weed too? Yes? Yep. My parents smoke marijuana, and it's not like it is here where it's A, legal, all right? Or B, like a common thing. Back in Florida, it wasn't a thing that people talked about. It definitely wasn't legal. But they did it. And they told me they smoked weed the day that I graduated from the DARE program. Drug Abuse Resistance Education. And when I say graduated, I mean like I was chosen as one of the 3 kids from an elementary schools to read their essay about the importance of DARE, okay? Like was handed a future Narc Leaders of America certificate, right? And so we're driving home, and my mom's like, your father and I are so proud of you. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. And she goes, we also smoke marijuana. And I was like, what? Because all they teach you is that drugs are bad, and people who do drugs are bad, right? My parents aren't bad. This explains a lot of their decisions, but they're not bad. And the one thing they don't teach you in DARE is you can meet a lot of new people. And I did. They're dealers. Now, some very interesting folks, okay? There was one woman, and her thing was garage sales. Not that she went to them, she threw them at other people's houses. She was like, this week, it's a kitchen garage sale. So everybody bring all your kitchen things. And then 2 weeks from now, we're going to Tammy's house. That's a backyard garage sale, so make sure that you bring things for the back. What? No, I said the kitchen is this week. Pay attention, or we're not giving you any more marijuana. She took them very seriously. Their other dealer was a rocket scientist. Good luck telling kids that drugs are bad and make you dumb when your parents get weed from a rocket scientist. But my favorite, by far, were these 2 lesbian strippers. Now, of course, you're thinking, well, of course, Dennis, they're lesbian strippers, and you were probably like 10 to 13, depending on what the cops ask. But it's not because of that. It's because one time I went over there, and their friend Nico was there. Nico is this really great gay Spanish dude. And we're talking about nothing. Just, you know, I'm there. We're on a run to Kat and Corey's house, as my mom and dad would say. Just like, go on a quick run. And Nico goes, Dennis, I want to tell you something. When you get a little bit older and you start having sex, whatever you do not put on 2 condoms, okay? Because the friction will build and they'll break and you'll have babies. Thanks, Nico. I'm 11. This seems like the kind of thing that's going to take up permanent residency in my brain. I don't know how to add fractions, but I've never double bagged it, I promise you that. Okay? Some things you just don't forget. My house was always a better place when there was weed in it than when there wasn't. Perfect example. One day I'm driving in the minivan, as I did, listening to Styx, because I was cool. And I crashed it. Ran right into the person in front of me. Now, we weren't going very fast, and I ran right into them. Everybody was fine, van was fine, but I had to go home and I had to tell my mom. So I go home, and I go to my mom, and I'm like, Mom. And she goes, what? I was like, I crashed the car. And my mom goes, oh no. I was like, I know, I'm so sorry. And she goes, was it before or after you got the Kit Kats we sent you out for? It was before it happened. I'm so sorry. I came right home, and my mom goes, oh no. About that time, my dad walks in, and she's like, your son crashed the car. My dad goes, sometimes girls crash. I wouldn't worry about it. And she goes, he didn't get the Kit Kats. And my dad says, oh no. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'll go to my room. And my dad goes, you will go to your bicycle. And you will return with Kit Kats. Looking back on it, I should have known that my parents smoked weed. I should have clicked with me earlier, right? Like one time I was talking to my mom, I was like, Mom, you want to come out and play catch with me? And she goes, why don't you just go outside and play catch with God? What? You know, just go out and just play catch with God. You mean gravity? She goes, Dennis, we are Jews, and it is not my job to tell you what your relationship with the Lord is supposed to look like. One time she calls me, and it's late. It's like 1 a.m. Florida time, right? And I goes, everything okay? And she goes, yes, I have an idea. I have the best idea, and I need to tell you immediately. And I go, okay. And she goes, I'm going to run for governor. I said, are you high? And she goes, yes. And that's why I'm doing it. This is ridiculous that weed is still illegal in this state, and I'm going to do something about it. And I'm like, I'm going to indulge you for just a minute. You do realize that running a political campaign is a lot of work, and you need a lot of people that you would have to convince to help run this campaign. She goes, yes, and I know exactly how to get them. And I go, you do now. And she goes, yes, I'm going to make a slogan that says, vote Nancy for governor, putting the grass in grassroots. So stoned, yet so brilliant. My parents had children for 2 reasons, and that was, 1, to have people who could do things that they didn't want to do anymore. Oh, are you 12 now? You can mow the lawn. The other reason is so that they had people on hand that they could fuck with whenever they got bored, and they got bored a lot. When I was in elementary school, one day my parents woke me up and they said, you are late for school, you're late for school, come on. We will drive you to the bus stop. And I only had to walk, it's 3 blocks. We will drive you to the bus stop, let's go. Oh my gosh, I get throw clothes on, oh my gosh. Get in the car, they go, they kick me out, and they're like, all right, we'll see you later, have a good day at school, and they leave. I'm standing there and I'm like, there's nobody here. It's kind of dark. I sure hope I didn't miss the bus. Where is everybody? It's so dark. And then my parents come driving up, and they stop, and they roll in the window, and they are laughing hysterically, like, get in, dummy, it's 2 a.m. Also, what are you wearing, a Looney Tunes t-shirt and pink basketball shorts? You do not dress well under pressure. When the mall opened in my town, for those of you who don't know, a mall is like an Amazon showroom. When the mall opened, it was a big deal. We would go just as kids and just like walk around. And my parents would take us and drop us off, and they'd go home. And they would change in these overalls and like these Bubba teeth that you could buy in the quarter machines back in the day. And they'd come back and they'd follow us. And they'd be like, hey Dennis, where you going, boy? Who's that girl you walking with? She sure is purty. You think her daddy knows that you walking with her? I'm like, please, God, don't stop it. In the future, I'm gonna need 3 mental health physicians if you keep this up. One time, I finally got the courage to ask a girl on a date. I was in high school. I'd been crushing on this girl for a while. I asked if she'd like to go to the movies with me, and she said yes. Tell my mom, taking this girl on a date, and she goes, look, would you mind just taking your brother and his friend? Just drive them, they're gonna go see a different movie. I asked the girl if she's cool with it. She goes, fine, totally. I have a little sister, I understand. So we go to the movies, and the movies are at the mall, okay? We go to the movies, and I get this parking spot that is right in front, right next to the handicap spot. Like, the kind of parking spot that if it was in LA at a preschool would get auctioned off for thousands of dollars. That kind of a parking spot, okay? We get out, and I have reveled in this space. Oh, it's so good. We go to the movies. I see the movie with the lady. My brother and his friend go see something else. They end about the same time. We walk back, and my brother says to his friend, first one to the car wins, and they run away. I look to the lady, and I go, kids always competing, you know? Just, can't we all just be equals, you know? Yeah, great. And I look up, and my brother and his friend are standing in the space where the car should be. They're in the space, the car not. Now I know where I parked the car, I reveled in it, but now I have to try to gaslight all of us into believing that that's not where I parked, okay? Because I want a second date. I'm like, you know what, the walk was pretty short, but I think it's because the company was great. Yeah, let's just look around a little bit more. We find the car 20 minutes later. I am sweating near tears. There will not be a second date, right? Get to the car, I let her in, I walk around, because I'm a gentleman. I go to the driver's side door and I go to sit down, and she goes, hey, there's this piece of paper on your desk, on your chair there. And so I take it and I open it up and it says, forget where you parked, love mom and dad. They had come to the mall for something, saw the car and went, I wonder what he'd do if we moved it. Yep. He'd stay a virgin for 5 more years. Thanks. That's what he would do. I tell my parents after this, I sit them down as if I am the parent and they are children, and I'm like, you cannot do this, okay? There should be respect between us. And they're like, yeah, of course, respect. A week later, I'm leaving the mall with my friend Trevor. We are driving. I live in a small town, okay? We are leaving, and we're getting close into my neighborhood, and there's a car behind us that all of a sudden starts honking and flashing its brights and revving and gets real aggressive. I'm like, oh my God. So I turn left, and this car turns left, and I turn right, and this car turns right, and Trevor and I are starting to freak out, and Trevor's like, lose him, let's go. I start peeling around roads that I've never seen before. I've lived here my whole life. Didn't know these roads exist. This car is on me the whole time. We are freaking out. I decided the plan is to go right to Trevor's house. We'll call 911. No cell phones, right? Driving to Trevor's house, pull in the driveway. This car pulls right behind us. I go, Trevor, okay, here's the deal. On the count of 3, we both throw our doors open, all right? You tuck and roll out, okay? I'm gonna be a diversion. You tuck and roll out, get inside, call 911. He's like, okay, great. I love you. I go, I love you too. He goes, I love you. I go, I love you too. We're gonna get this. He goes, I'm gay and I love you. Now, brother, now. We may not make it out of this. Yes, of course not. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. I'm happy for you. 1, 2, 3, go. Throw the doors open, he tucks and rolls, he hops up, he stops, he freezes. I go, run! Run, you beautiful gay idiot, run! And he comes over to me and he goes, it's your fucking parents. My parents had rented a car because my dad's truck needed service. And I walk up and they are laughing their heads off. And I go, we just talked about this. You proud of yourself? And they go, were you scared? Were we scared? You scared Trevor out of the closet. Were we scared? Yeah. I worked at Champ Sports in the mall, okay? It was the coolest store there, and I was the only white guy who worked there. My name tag said white boy. This is true. Okay? People would come in and ask to only work with white boy. Until tonight, it was the proudest moment I've ever had. One day I have a dude come in, and this is where we did a lot of profiling. And I don't mean racial profiling. I mean like, how high and dumb are you right now? And how much money are you walking around with? Kind of profiling. So one time this guy's in here, and he's looking at these 2 different pairs of shoes, and I tell my assistant manager, Daryl, yo, I'm gonna go make him buy the more expensive ones. If I do, you're buying lunch. And he's like, great. So I go to the dude, I go, yo, man, what's going on? He's like, I don't know if I should get these or these. And I go, well, you gotta get those. And he goes, you just want me to get them because they're more money. And I was like, touche. All right. And I go, no. Let me ask you a question. I said, you ball, you play basketball? He goes, yeah, hell yeah, I play basketball. Cool. You ever been dribbling and then just try to go pivot and your foot kind of slides and you feel dumb? He goes, yeah. I go, these shoes have been engineered to not do that. Word? I said, yeah, what are you, like 11 and a half? He goes, yeah. Go in the back. And I go, D, get lunch ready, but you're going to want to watch this. So I go and I get the shoes and I have him try them on. He's like, these are cool. I go, do the move. What? Do it. Do the pivot. This guy starts bouncing an imaginary basketball and pivot and pivot and pivot. He was on carpet. I could have lacquered the shoes and he was staying right in place. I got lunch and I guarantee that guy broke his ankle, without a doubt. Champs was great. One of the other funny things, every local drug dealer knew who I was, okay? Because they would come in every Friday and buy whatever new Jordans came out, whatever new jerseys came out. Yo, where white boy at with the J's, huh? So one day, this one guy, Locke, I can say that because he's still locked up. Locke comes in, he's like, yo, white boy, I need this, 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 and this. Go grab it all. He's like, I'm gonna pay you out of this stack. I'm gonna pay you out of this stack. Both just hundreds, just rubber band man hundreds. Locke, pay me out of whichever stack is not going to trace back to me and end me up in a cell next to you. I'm fine with that. Ring him up, he turns around and leaves. My folks are walking in, and I go, all right, Locke, see you later. And before I could say hi to my folks, they go, Gerald, how are you? Miss Jacobs, good to see y'all. You're a nice man. All right, you be well tonight, okay? All right, I'll see y'all next week. Yes, you will. I'm just saying I should have known before they told me. That's all I'm saying. Working at Champs is also where I learned, like, my switch and I don't know. I don't do subtle very well, okay? This may shock most of you, given that I'm currently wearing a yarmulke that's bedazzled and you can see from space, but I don't do subtle well. And the worst form of subtlety for me is when I'm talking to you and you want me to look over my shoulder at somebody that you're talking about. Because I don't do that slyly. I've practiced. It always goes like this. What? That guy? That side? And then I think that they realize, so now I have to go to this side just to double check. And this side, boom. So now I'm having a full-on twitch attack, right? What the fuck is wrong with you? Just look over your shoulder. I'm trying. And the worst part is what I finally do, I always lock eyes with them immediately. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess one of us has to propose. That's the only way to break this spell that I'm going to do right now. I want to take a minute and tell you guys to be nice to each other, all right? It is important. Be nice to each other. Be nice to homeless people, okay? You don't know what people are going through. Sometimes somebody changes the locks. Sometimes you're staying with your great aunt in New York City and she just kicks you out. You don't know what people are going through. One summer I was staying with my great aunt in New York City. She was my late great aunt. I say late, not because I left a ticket for her and she's not here yet, or because she hasn't gotten her period in quite a while. I mean late because she's dead now. She's also great. I don't mean great because she's awesome, because you're about to find out not the case. And I don't mean great because she led an army, all right, and conquered a portion of the world. I mean great because she was my grandmother's sister. And I was staying with her. I would leave the house at 7 a.m. I'd be back by 7 p.m. I was always just tidy and everything. And one day she comes up and she goes, Dennis, I'm sorry, you cannot stay here anymore. I go, I'm so sorry, what have I done? She goes, you sleep in the room I read my newspaper in. All you do is watch the news. You know what's in the paper. They get to it, I promise. And she goes, no, you have to go. I say, okay, that's fine. I have a lot of friends in the city. Can I just leave my stuff here? And I'll come back every couple of days. And she goes, I'm having the closets painted. So no. Okay, cool. She would later tell my grandma, I haven't seen Dennis in a while. I heard he's exploring New York City. What I was exploring were Starbucks bathrooms. You've seen that thing now where like they just let homeless people come in and pee at them? Let me tell you, I was doing it way before it was cool, all right? That's right. It was fine until I got home and then had to go buy a hazelnut candle and have it lit so I could pee, you know. Still. There it is. Ubers aren't taxis, okay? Put on a seatbelt when you get in a fucking Uber, okay? Just because you magically conjured it here, all right? And you treat it as if a taxi, you judge your driver, tell them where they're going, and they're like, that's not the fucking way to go, I don't know what they're doing. They're not taxis. When you get in New York City, what's between you and the driver in a taxi? That thick plexiglass, right? Which means if shit goes bad, the worst thing that's gonna happen to you, you're just gonna face first into that plexiglass, but you'll be fine. That's why we get away with not putting on seatbelts. You're in a modern day Corolla, okay? The same kind of car that your best friend in high school's older brother Keith used to drive, that he put the two 10-inch speakers in the back that your mom fucking hated, right? And how about riding around with that guy without a seatbelt on, because that's the exact same thing you're doing here. I'm trying to save lives tonight, people, all right? That's all I'm trying to do. So Ubers, they're not taxis, all right? This is paid for by Lyft. I have a son. I have a 6-year-old son. Thank you. Yes, I tell people I have a son because I want you to know that I've had sex. I don't know if you're walking around going, I wonder if that guy's ever had sex, but I'm walking around looking at everybody going, I wonder if that guy's ever had sex, and I want you to know that I've done it at least once, and I have proof. He's 6. My kid's pretty amazing. And I'm so nervous of messing him up. Because as you've heard of my upbringing, it's clearly in my DNA. And I fight it as much as I can, but sometimes I lose, right? When he was little, he used to go to like this little kids' gym kind of thing, right? And I didn't want to be the parent that was just like on their phone, not paying attention. And so I'd do like little games to entertain myself, right? Like I'd make up conversations that the kids were having with each other. Or my favorite game was just to walk around and just fart whenever I wanted. And then just watch the moms be like, oh, is that mine? Sorry, that must be my kid. And then just smell their kids. And it's like, nope. He strikes again. What I want credit for is not messing my kid up more. Because I could have. Let me let you know a little secret. Kids don't know a fucking thing till you tell them. They don't know anything. You think we're born knowing what minutes are? We're not, okay? If I told my kid that I'm gonna pick you up from the park in 5 Flimbies, think of the damage I could have done to that boy. And I made a conscious decision not to do that after trying that one time. And I'm just saying, I just want like this much credit for not ruining him more than I could have. I'm proud of myself, really, whether you people are or not. I'm proud of you. No, I don't want that. Ugh. That's okay. Like I said, being a dad is really cool, though. It's amazing. There's this cool bond with dads that nobody really talks about, right? Like, I've been out with my kid and seen another dad out with his kid. And you have this moment where, like, I recognize you, and you recognize me, and we both know what we're going through, and it's cool, and you talk to the kid, and you're like, hey, little buddy, how are you doing? And, you know, a little hi to the dad. And it's cool. It's this moment that's not in any of the books. And I love doing it. And sometimes I forget I don't have my kid. So I walk up to a father and his kid, and I go, hey, little buddy, how are you doing? And I look up at this father, and I went, oh, not my kid! Oh. No, I have one. He's at home. Not by himself. No. He's with his mom. He's got a mom. Do you want me to leave? I should probably leave. Yes, okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Bye, little buddy. I'm sorry why I said bye. I'm so sorry. I'm a huge nerd, and all I've ever wanted is superpowers, okay? Still, to this day, all I ever wanted is superpowers. What I did not know by becoming a father is that I would finally get them. They just weren't what I expected them to be. Power number 1. I can sense danger when there's absolutely no chance of danger. We'll be walking on the sidewalk, and I'll be like, hey, buddy, I need you to stay on this side, okay? 7 feet away from the edge of the sidewalk. I'm like, well, why? Why? Because what you don't know right now is that 4 blocks away, 2 men are robbing a bank, all right? And their getaway driver just made. He's already been shot. He's bleeding a lot. They're driving erratically. Everybody's high on cocaine right now. The cops are in hot pursuit. There's bullets flying everywhere. And if nobody pays attention, you're too close to the curb, and they take this too hard, they could come and they could hit you, and then I have to deal with your mother. So I just need you to be over here, okay, bud? Away from danger. Another power that I have is I became a structural engineer overnight. Yeah. I'd be at the park, watching them on the monkey bars, and I'd just be looking and be like, I imagine those are structurally sound. Just like lightly inspecting them, just like knocking on them, like, that seems pretty solid. Did your kid made it through? Your kid's fatter than my kid. He should be fine. All right. Yeah. No, what? I checked him. Yeah. Engineer? No, Jew, but we built pyramids, so I got this. Yeah. The last power I got is the ability to transform into my mother. In a very specific way. My mother cries at television commercials. One commercial in particular. There's this old Folgers commercial where, like, a mom is sleeping and her son is a soldier and comes home on leave and surprises her, right? And he comes into the house and the dog goes to bark and he's like, shh, shh, and the dog doesn't bark. And he starts making coffee first and the mother wakes up and she's like, what's that aroma? By the way, her first reaction is, what's that aroma? Now, oh, I'm gonna die. Somebody's here. Then the mom, like bleary-eyed, comes home and she sees her son and she's like, Kevin! My mother weeps every year that commercial's on at Christmas time. That commercial has not been on in 10 years, and she just thinks about it and weeps. Have you guys seen that commercial for that like Swedish phone? No? Here, that's cool. It starts with a dad and his little baby, and you hear that song that goes like, eh, eh, what? And the dad's doing like this little like dad dance, and the baby loves it. Then it cuts to a little bit later, and the kid's like, he's 10, he's in the car, and the song is still playing. The dad does the same dad dance, and the kid loves it. And then it's a little bit later, and he's like 20, and they're in a coffee shop, and the song's playing, and the dad does the dad dance, and the kid's like, I'm too cool for this now. And then it cuts to later, and it's Christmas time. And you hear the song playing, but it's a ringtone. And the dad opens it and he FaceTimes his son, who has a son. And he's doing the dance. I don't know how Clark Kent did not reveal himself all of these years. I did it right here on stage. Superpowers, you guys. That's what I have. Being a dad's great. Not that hard though, okay? People are always concerned about like how hard it is to be a parent and what's the big thing today, right? What are the kids watching on YouTube? Are you paying attention? Okay? It's so hard to parent a kid who has YouTube. That's not true. All you have to do is just know, all right? Pay attention. My kid watches Dude Perfect, Peppa Pig, and white nationalist videos, and it's fine, okay? Because I know. I'm a good dad because I know what he's watching. My kid's going through this phase where he likes to call me by my first name. It's cute, till it's not. He's like, hi Dennis, would you please take me to the park today? Points for being polite. Didn't need the hello, but okay. And I'm like, sure buddy, let's go to the park. And it's cute and it's nice, but it's not good when we're out in public. So we were at a Fresh Brothers, because he's real bougie when it comes to pizza. And we're sitting and he goes, Dennis, could I please have some salad? Also, you're doing a great job. Thanks, bud. And I look over, there's another woman just staring at us. And I go, I know what you're thinking. And it's true. He's got that Benjamin Button disease, right? So like, if you could just not bring it up, he's real sensitive about it. He and I go out to eat a lot. One of the restaurants that we like to frequent is Buca di Beppo. Yeah, I like it because as a Jew, I can go to a place where there's a Pope's head just encapsulated in hard plastic. A lot of you need to Google that when you go home. Like, holy shit, this isn't a chain restaurant? For those of you who don't know, Buca di Beppo is family style, right? So we sit down, just he and I, and the waitress goes, do you guys know how it works here? Yes, judgy, thank you. So we order. My favorite part is a little bit later, eventually, a photographer will come around and she'll go, hi, the restaurant has sent me to take a picture of your dining experience. You can keep it forever. And I go, lady, what part of this do you think I want documented right now? I'm eating a lasagna for 4, all right? That kid is wrist deep in some buttered spaghetti, all right? This isn't refrigerator material, okay? Here's the weird part. Did you know that if you get your picture taken, they then turn around and try to sell it to you, but they print it first? Which means somebody just has a stockpile of Buca di Beppo family photos. And they're just waiting that we're eventually gonna get tired of celebrity nudes and be into normal people, family style Italian photos, and they'll be like, that's what I'm gonna retire on, guys. Buca photos. I have not gone on Reddit and seen if Buca photos is a thing, so if it becomes one, I'd like some monetary credit. Thank you. Kids say the darndest things. It's cliche, but it's true. Tell you how I know. 2 weeks ago, driving with my kid, Out of nowhere, he goes, Dad, you know what'd be crazy? What, buddy? Penis pizza. Yeah. Be pretty crazy. Now, I don't want to think about it too much, because he's going to start asking me questions. And I'm stuck on, like, it's just got to be a pizza in the shape of a penis, right? Like, anything beyond that, that's fucking real. Like, we got to talk to somebody if he's thinking about something beyond that. What are you thinking about? Definitely not penis pizza, bud. No. Definitely not. We're not getting Fresh Brothers tonight, Kate. No. Definitely not. He likes to play a lot of games. He's into board games. There's something happening in the board game industry that nobody's talking about. And I'm here to expose it. And the thing is poop. Many of you have not been down a board game aisle recently. Come with me on this journey. I went to go buy a board game, okay? I saw 3 different games where the most important thing in the game was poop, all right? There were not 3 games that had chickens. There were not 3 games that had hippos, but there were 3 different games that had poop in them, okay? First one is called Doggy Do. And what you do is you squeeze this little leash thing until a piece of poop falls out of the dog, all right? And then you scoop it up, and then you get a fart coin. What? $20 American for this? How am I supposed to parent when he's trying to get fart coins to win? Don't step in it. That's the other game. Don't step in it. This one's an obstacle course. And it's exactly what you think it is. Lay down this piece of fake grass, you get these like Play-Doh things of poop, you are then blindfolded, and you have to traverse without, you lost, you stepped in it. What? That had to be the laziest board meeting ever. Who's got any other board game ideas? Don't step in shit. Yeah. Tom, write that one down. Put it on the board. Yeah. Okay, now, the Doggy Do, maybe, can teach responsibility. You do have to clean it up. In order, you have to earn that fart coin. They're not just given. They're not like real farts where you could just be walking and then just get one. All right, you have to earn it. But don't step in it. Okay. My neighborhood play this game all the time. Fine. Now, I don't know what twisted German over at the Mattel company created this last one, but I hope he's on a fucking watch list, right? It's called Flush and Frenzy. Your set piece is a toilet. You flush it, out comes a dye that's poop colored. That's how many times you need to plunge the toilet. And then if you win, a piece of poop with a face on it, thank you, piece of poop with a face on it flies out of the top, and then you have to catch it. Fuck you. No. Fight your friends to catch this poop. Now, and you were concerned with what he's gonna watch on YouTube? Right? He's battling his friends to catch this poop. I might be like, buddy, we didn't have games like this when I was growing up. We didn't have those kind of things. He's like, what did you play with? Pogs. I played with Pogs. He's like, well, what's a Pog? That sounds super fun. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It definitely doesn't sound like a piece of cardboard with a picture on it, right? No, it sounds magical. He's like, well, Daddy, however would you play Pogs? Well, we would take our little discs and we'd stack them up. And then we'd take a slamming device, which we called slammers, and we would ha-ka-ja on top of the Pog stack. And if they flipped, you won them. And he's like, oh, these must have cost you like a dime for 100, right? No. You have to get your advance on your allowance to buy Pogs, all right? It'd be $7 to $9 for a tube. Half of those are definitely gonna be duplicates, all right? Oh, make our own? Pfft, come on. Nobody's gonna think about that until we realize this is a dumb game. He does love games, and he specifically loves sports, and he loves football. And he'll be like, Dad, do you want to play football with me? And I'm like, I'd love to, buddy. And I get him to go play catch, and he goes, no, that's not what I want to do. You don't want to play catch football? No. I want you to sit down, and I want you to announce for me playing football. You paint the picture of what happens. He has me sit down. He then becomes two different teams. All right? He will tell me which teams they are. So, okay, so today it's the Rams and the Packers. Okay. What team are you on? Because he's always on a team. He picks a favorite, right? And then what he's going to do is he's going to throw it to himself and then catch it, and I have to announce it. Which is cute and fun and fine if I was just like, all right, Ace throws it, Ace catches it, yay. No. He needs intense play-by-play of what happens. Not only of me in the booth, no. He goes, well, who's your broadcast partner? So now I need to manufacture somebody else in the booth with me that I can throw it to, right? So it goes a little something like this. Oh, it looks like the Green Bay Packers are going to be starting off with the ball today. Their quarterback, that Ace Jacobs, he came out of Syracuse last year. He's been on a heck of a hot streak. Wouldn't you say, Gare? Yeah, sure would say that. He's been pretty good. They're real happy to have him over there. All right, Ace drops back. He does two different spin moves. He throws it up, and it caught by Jacobs. That's crazy. And he slides on his knees. That's definitely going to be on ESPN Instant Replay. Instant Replay, because he goes, let's see a replay, huh? Now he's going to do it again, and I have to call it the exact same way. Or he'll be like, well, what does Gary think about it? If I don't do the other guy's voice for too long, he's like, well, that guy's still there. What's he say? So I'd be like, all right, let's look at a replay. Gare, what did you see over here? Yeah, boy, what you going to see over there? Jay's going to take about 3-step drop. He's going to turn around and launch one and then come down with a slide on the knee. That's real impressive. Then he goes, well, Dad, who's your sideline reporter? I don't know. Stitch? Okay, well, interview me. Cool. Hey, so why don't you tell me about how the game was with, O'Hanlon's family? And he's like, yeah, it was real hard out there, but, both teams are hard, real good. It is exhausting to have to do this. I'm like, just please let me play catch with you. I'm doing something right because he likes the Green Bay Packers. And he likes Aaron Rodgers a lot. So I'm taking that as a win. Except when he points out things. Like he goes, hey, Dad, Aaron Rodgers can throw a football the whole length of the field. You can't do that, can you? No, buddy, I can't, but Aaron Rodgers is a professional quarterback. That's what he does. He gets paid a lot of money for it. Oh, okay. Hey, Dad, Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. You haven't done that, have you? No, buddy, but a lot of people, including professional athletes, have never won Super Bowls, right? There's a lot of football players who never won a Super Bowl. That's not that crazy. He goes, oh, okay. Hey, Dad, Aaron Rodgers can grow a beard. You can't do that, can you? Come on, let's go see how far I can throw this football. Come on, kid. He's been telling me to lose weight without noticing that that's what he's been doing recently. He'll be like, Daddy, you look just like Daddy Pig. What? What are you talking about? Daddy Pig wears glasses and a fat pig. You motherfucker. Pardon? We were at an In-N-Out a couple of weeks ago, and we're sitting and we're patiently waiting for our food to come. And all of a sudden, this man walks by us. And my kid goes, Daddy, he looks just like you. Here's what that gentleman and I had in common. We were not black. We both had glasses. What little hair he had left was black. That's where it stopped. This was a very well-fed individual. All all right? And I'm like, Ace, that guy doesn't look like me. And he goes, yeah, you guys could be brothers. I'm gonna eat this double-double because I paid for it, but I'm not gonna enjoy it the same way. I say those things, but he's a sweet, sweet boy. A couple of years ago, he went for Halloween as Black Panther. My kid looks like me, in case you're confused on how to react. As I, too, was confused on how to react when I found out he wanted to be Black Panther. I was very, I don't know what to do, what to think. A friend of mine sent me a link that was like, hey, the writer of Black Panther says it's totally cool for little white kids to dress up like Black Panther, right? And she was like, I'm pretty sure it's appreciation, not appropriation, until 13, 14. I was like, okay, I feel much better now. Woke. And so he dresses as Black Panther, and he has a great time. He gets so much candy. He loves Black Panther. He likes the cartoons, likes the Legos. It's great. And I realized at that moment that race hadn't really hit him yet. And this was really solidified a little while later. He and I were at home watching American Gladiators on YouTube, like the rest of you do. And we're watching, kind of not watching, and there's two contestants, right? There's a white dude and a black dude. The white dude is wearing the blue singlet, the black dude's wearing a red singlet, and they're competing, right? I'm kind of not paying entirely attention because I've seen this one a few times. And it ends, and my kid goes, Daddy, who won? And without thinking, I went, the black one won. And he goes, Daddy, there is no black one. There's a red one and a blue one. And I was like, oh my God. He doesn't see it. He just doesn't see it. It was the most beautiful moment ever. And a minute later he goes, hey Daddy, why are Polacks so fucking stupid? And I was like, we were so close. You did not expect a dumb Polak joke tonight, did you? No, we retired those years ago. That's why you didn't. It's a vintage joke. A lot of you don't even know that was a thing for many, many years that we just all agreed upon. And that's a group of people who are doing pretty well for themselves by laying under the radar right now, right? Like the world's on hell, but nobody's paying attention to us. Let's just keep it quiet. He's a sweet, sweet kid. Too sweet. Sometimes it costs me money. Took a mini golf. If you're under 5, you're free. If you're 5, you're $3. Papa's trying to save $3, right? So I just walk up, I go, hey, one for me and the tiny human. And the guy goes, oh, how old is he? And I go, she's gonna be 5 any day now. And he goes, I am 5, I'm almost 6. You got $3? What, are you gonna get mad at him for telling the truth about how old he is, all right? Come on. It's ridiculous, I can't do that. And the guy looked at me like, dude, $3. And I was like, we're here every week. You should have known already, man. Why'd you make this weird between the two of us? Another time I'm at Chipotle, and I order a burrito bowl, and I get chicken, and then I throw some steak on there, all right? Because that week, I got away with saving the $3. So I go to pay for it. The kid's paying attention. I don't realize that. Because I go to pay for it, and the guy goes, chicken bowl? And I go, yep. And he goes, what about the steak? Shut it, man. And the guy goes, oh, it's a steak bowl. I go, yeah, sorry, I meant a steak bowl. He goes, there's chicken too. Daddy got 2 meats. Just costing me money. He's sweet, and I worry about him rebelling. I really do. I didn't rebel much. I rebelled once. Both my parents are Muslim, and I'm really just worried about him rebelling. But I'm more worried about him being dumb. Because I don't want him to be dumb. I want him to be sweet and smart. But he's a boy. And boys are dumb. I'll tell you how I know. Remember this old chestnut? Boys go to college to get more knowledge. Girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Who's the dumb one in this, huh? Is it the ladies who are traversing the universe to go find us somewhere else that we can live because we've ruined the planet Earth? Huh? No. Or is it the boys that are at a frat party going, where are all the girls? I'm just nervous about it, really. I'm divorced now. No. That's weird. My mom said she couldn't make the trip. I didn't know how to navigate that. My parents fucked up. They're still together, right? No one's gonna take them. Nobody else is gonna take either of them. Are you out of your minds, all right? They've been together for 36 years, the two of them. Married, same person. But I knew divorce was a big deal because when I was 10, in elementary school, we had these standardized tests that you had to take, right? It was crucial, very important back in the day. And I knew that divorce was a big deal because my mom refused to tell me that Billy Joel was getting a divorce because she thought it would ruin my standardized test scores for that day. She would have been right, too. I would have been a mess. Billy! But one of the weirdest things, there's just things you don't think about. Anybody you guys into astrology at all? Yeah? A little bit of horoscopes out there, right? Okay. Myself and my ex-wife are both Capricorns. Yeah, that elicits an interesting reaction, like you should have known, but I didn't. But here's the thing, when you're together and you get your horoscope, you're like, we can split this, right? If it's bad, well then she's gonna shelter some and I'm gonna shelter one. Or if it's a good horoscope, that's double, right? We're both Capricorns. We're both gonna do well from this. Then we got divorced. And I was like, I don't know how to read my horoscope anymore. And then I realized that some horoscopes are for her and some are for me. I'll give you an example. Today, you will find yourself surrounded by those who love and respect you. That's for me. You guys came out tonight. I mean, that's true as anything, right? Today, you will find yourself surrounded by Bravo Real Housewives. That's for her. Not for me. Today, in the next 3 weeks, you will encounter a bacon with lox and a potato quiche. Oddly specific, but definitely for me. For the next 6 months to 18 years, you will ask to speak to a manager at every restaurant you go to. That one's for her. You are about to come into quite a sum of money. That one's for her, and it's alimony. Silly. So when you're divorced and you start thinking about dating again, and I was not ready for it for a long time, emotionally, but really physically. And what I mean by that is having to hold in your farts for so long. And the stomach pain that comes along with that. Like the freedom of when you're finally with somebody that you can alleviate that stomach pain with. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm never gonna divorce this person. I feel fine right here. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was like, look, man, you just gotta get out there. You just gotta go for it, right? Is there anybody you're interested in? And I was like, there's one girl I have a crush on. And he's like, why don't you go tell her? Who is she? And I was like, she's actually a teller at the bank. And he goes, fuck is that? You still going inside the banks? Most of you don't know, if you actually walk into a bank, there's still people there. You don't have to just deal with the ATM or your phones. There's actual people inside there. And I go, yeah, you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go in there and I'll tell her. So I go up there, and She's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm great, how are you? Hey, I wanted to ask you something. And she goes, sure, you know what? Let's go ahead and open up your account first. And she does. And I went, oh, no. The thing I wanted to tell you was that I wanted to open a new savings account. So online dating it became. This hell pool that we are in right now. The online dating world. I missed all of that. I legit missed all of that. She and I had met and everything had happened before that was a thing, right? So this was new and terrifying. Building a dating profile is fucking awful, but it gave me a newfound respect for Jeopardy contestants. You ever watch Jeopardy and then you get that 6 seconds of a fact that they want to share with you about who the contestants are? I felt the same thing when they were just a blank slate for your dating profile. You're like, I don't know what the fuck to say here, right? It's like in Jeopardy, they're like, here's Melissa. She's a rocket scientist, Melissa. And apparently, one time Nicolas Cage took a blueberry scone from you. Didn't want to say anything about working on rockets, did you? No, okay, cool. Exact same thing. It freak out everything when you go to write a blank dating profile. It's awful. Then there's stress. There's normal stress that comes with trying to meet new people, but then there's added stress by the dating apps themselves being like, hey man, it's 9:57 on a Sunday, everybody's swiping, get in on this. Oh my God. Everybody, they're all swiping. You don't want to not swipe, bro. Bumble, why do you sound like a dude? It's awful. I tried a few of them, and then I landed right in the center of hell in Tinder, and talk about profiles. One woman's profile said, and I quote, dating me is like going to a restaurant, ordering something, then seeing somebody else get their order and realizing you've made the wrong choice. Hey lady, who are you in this story? Are you the right choice I should have made, but for whatever reason didn't? Are you the choice that betrayed me by showing me another choice that I should have made? I saw another one that said, not interested in dudes with kids who watch porn. And punctuation's real important in a situation like that. Lady, I'm gonna imagine most of us are not interested in dudes with kids who watch porn, but that's two different thoughts I need to know. I don't qualify for either of them, but I just need to know, so I need to know if I need to report you. Then there's this one. I'm just here to ruin your life. But I met her once and now I'm on Tinder. So, this has been a lot of fun. Doing stand-up is pretty great. I'm so happy I'm able to do this with you guys. When I got into stand-up when I was super, super young. When I was in 5th grade, I convinced my 5th and 4th grade teachers to let me leave my 5th grade class and go to the 4th grade and tell jokes. And you're just like, that's so encouraging. But I didn't write my own jokes. I had high parents. So I'm out there doing George Carlin bits for 9-year-olds. And my 4th grade teacher was like, this is the best decision I've ever made. Oh, is this 7 words you can't say? Yeah, give them all 7. We just, go on. There'll be a spelling test on motherfucker at the end of this, so. The first time I did stand-up for real with my own material, I was a senior in high school, and it was at this homecoming pep rally. And back at that time, there was this fashion that was taking over the whole US, this craze. And it was white guys with visors, upside down and backwards. like a drunk duck-billed platypi. So I'm on this stage doing a terrible, like, Seinfeldian, like, what's the deal with these visors that are upside down and backwards? I'm one visor short of a whole hat. Ha 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 ha. And I looked at the front row, and it's all white dudes with visors, upside down and backwards. And it was at that moment I realized it's important to have diverse friends, okay? I will leave you with this. Having a kid is amazing. Being a dad is wonderful. They don't tell you everything. Like potty training. When we went through potty training, what they don't tell you is that when little boys feel like they're done peeing, that's it. They're done. They're no longer pointing in that direction, okay? They're like, and that's the end of that, and then just paint wherever they so please, okay? They don't know proper technique. You have to teach it to them, right? So I'd be like, buddy, you gotta stay right here, and then you gotta Taylor Swift it. You gotta shake it off, right? When you're all done, that's what you gotta do. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, that's what you gotta do, right? And so I told him, like, he wasn't getting it. I was like, okay, buddy, when you're all done, you just gotta go boop, boop, and then you're all done. I don't know why I went, you gotta go boop, boop, but I did. And he latched onto that. So you'd be all done peeing, boop, boop, and then flush. It's cute. But then I'm thinking in just a couple of years, he's in elementary school, peeing next to some other kid, and that other kid hears, boop, boop. That kid's dick just got a text message? What? Thank you all so much. I love you. Thank you.
I don't go anywhere. One more time for Kosh.
All right,
Yo. Amazing.